Right, so we're back with Megan, and she is now cleared to do everything. So no restrictions anymore for her knee. So the goal is by July there's a sports-specific test that her surgeon has given her with a bunch of different activities that she has to pass that before she can go back to playing soccer. So now she's just doing some jumping jacks, which really work that medial lateral stability of the knee. So you can intersperse like minute cycles of jumping jacks, and then also go ahead, Megan, and show the cross-country ski motion. So working on intervals of cross-country ski, jumping jack. You can also do just some jogging in place, really fast jogging in place. And just doing cycles of that for 5 to 10 minutes, back and forth, alternating between those activities. You can also add the HydroFit cuffs for this around the ankles. The other thing sometimes, if people need, I'll add the Hydrotone belt around the waist. It gives them a little more buoyancy, which can challenge a little bit more. So now Megan's just working on some jumps front to back. That's just an aquatic step that's in the water. So she's jumping up frontwards and then right over the front of that step. Great balance and stability exercise, because as you create that flow of water, it wants to keep pushing you forward. So she has to stop that there, control, and then come back down. And then as she goes back up, she still has that same flow of water that's coming frontwards that she has to work against. So doing some front jumps, and then you can also turn and do lateral, so side, stepping up, and then over. Jumping up, jumping over. So again, good medial lateral stability with that knee. So anywhere from 10 to 15 repetitions of that. So just some jogs up and down the step. Work on leading with one leg, with the other, back and forth, frontwards, and sideways. You can also do that right up and over the step too. This is more of like a little jog. And then the other thing on the step is just staying on the top of the step and doing the power jump, where you're going to squat down as far as you can, first step out of the water, land back on those feet. And you can either do that on the aquatic step, but she could come up onto the platform step and work on that there. That's just a little more shallow, so it really depends on where somebody's at in the course of their rehab. So a little bit of flutter kick with the flippers. Stomach, and then we'll add the jets for more resistance, which I think the jets right now are on the stronger side. We've got so really just several minutes up against those jets. We'll work those quads, hamstrings, hip flexors, extensors. I think it's really doing awesome. You can do up against the jets too is sit on a noodle and do bicycle, frontwards, backwards, sideways. Perfect. So just that supine flutter kick. She's mastering that. She's staying away from the stronger jet though right now. Yeah, so that gives you a good idea for there. So we've got the kickboard, doing a little bit of just tall kneeling on the kickboard. And you can work on just shifting your hips side to side to work. This is a great core activity if you stay at it for a couple minutes. You'll see as Megan works side to side, it's a little harder to not lose that board out from underneath you. If the kickboard's too hard, you can also move to you could use a noodle for starters. And then as the kickboard gets easier, you can use a wonder board, which just is a little more buoyant, so it works a little harder. You can transition from that tall kneel to a standing on the kickboard. Have Megan try that. And then from there, just working on a reverse squat. So you're going to bring that kickboard up off the ground of the pool and then push it back down. So great work again just on stability. Get some good flexion of that knee. And again, you can work on just angling that push down just a little bit out to the side, which is going to work a little more stability. So just almost like a downhill ski jump. So just that side to side. Then you can just do straight front to back. Do that first. And then you can kind of put those all together and hit the 4 sections. So you go front, then you could change it up even more and just do front to side, back to side. Just anything to change the pattern and make more of like an unexpected, which would be like soccer. Who knows what's coming when? So this is just the grapevine front to back, or karaoke step. And I like to work on this really like in a slower pattern where you just walk, more of a walk to do that, and then also would add that little bounce step. You can pick up this pace so that they're just about running to do this as well. Looks good. Why don't you go ahead and turn the other way and try the other side. And sometimes people will find one side easier or harder than the other. And again, you can turn on the jets for more resistance for this. Now we've got just running. What speed do you have that at, Megan, now? 5.0. And again, I won't turn them on, but you can do the jets for added resistance for this too. So here's a great activity that we really just started for the first time today. So this is really hard for Megan because it's the unknown, kind of unexpected. So essentially what she's doing is just walking up to the front of the treadmill, kind of stopping and planting, as she would have to do in soccer sometimes, planting on that foot, letting the treadmill bring her back, and then walking back up against that. And stop, hold. And what you can do, you can, I think Tim DeFrancesco does this with a lot of his basketball athletes. You can do this while you're running against the jets in the water. Stop, plant, let that run you back, then you run, you sprint right up against those jets at high power. Stop, plant, let the treadmill walk you back. Or let the treadmill passively carry you back, and then you run up against it again. So great activity, it's very hard. So now there's just a little bit of the backwards walking. And again, using the jets for this. The other thing I will sometimes do with people is have the jets on and just have them work in standing in place, just some static standing against the jets. Frontwards, sideways, backwards, all those different directions. So the pool can be really easy, or you can make it really challenging just by adding a variety of resistance tools or buoyant cuffs to ankles for added resistance. Noodles, kickboards, barbells, all kinds of fun toys to just change the challenge of an activity. The other thing is just don't forget time in working on longevity of some of the exercises. It's what will fatigue people out against the resistance of the water. One of Megan's activities that she has to do for her test to be able to go back to soccer is 3 minutes of single leg squat.
Yeah.
And she's mastered 2 minutes on land. So she's doing a little time test and really making sure that that knee stays right in the right plane of motion. No moving in and out with that. So the water's a great place to be able to practice some of those activities she has to do on land. That was the same thing with that treadmill activity. One of her other activities she has to do is run, stop and plant both feet, and then turn around and run back. Do you recall what the other activity, what the run and plant your feet activity?
For my test, it's kind of just like the hopping back and forth on each leg and planting on them, and doing it backwards.
What are you up to time-wise?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Does it feel a little different than doing it on land?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's helpful because you have the benefit of the buoyancy of the water, less body weight, but good to just work on the endurance of that. Maybe if you make it to the 3 minutes, what might be good, take a little break and then let's have you try some single leg hops where you are just hopping on that leg. Your little test, I think.
Work like that?
Yeah, so just single leg jumps. And again, just work on some power with that too. Really try to work on going down and power up with it. Like you're going to come right up off your foot, totally. Come right up off those toes. And land back down on there. And then you can change that up too, Megan, and go front to back with that. So jump frontwards and then backwards. Good, and how about the side to side? And then how about let's change it up. I'm going to give you direction. So how about you go front, right, left, front, back, left, right, front, back, left, front, back. Good. The best part always at the end, the massage hose. Even still, that feels good. Months later. Bye, Ruth. Posted as to Megan's return to soccer maybe later this summer.